Hey, gentlemen.
Good morning, how are we?
Good.
You're rough.
That's how I am, rough lads.
It's the morning after the night before. We had the quiz last night.
Jeez.
Called it a night at 6 o'clock.
6
a.m. you went to Feather.
Yeah.
Jeez, man.
Ferrick sucked us in again.
Well, the thing is, when you're listening to greatness, you can't. I imagine you can't turn it off, can you?
I was in the company of greatness.
So 6 o'clock on a Saturday night, Sunday morning in house.
On your own.
Some effort that.
On your own.
I was having a great time, though, lads.
Did you cook yourself out or?
Nah. Just powered through on the gin.
Dancing?
Jeez,
Nah. Just a lot of happened.
Head bopping.
Head
Head bopping.
Enjoyed the quiz, though, lads.
Oh, mate. To be fair, credit where credit's due. Someone just went above and beyond, didn't they? If you've not seen the quiz, just watch the last 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah. No, longer.
Yeah?
I think the last
hour. The last hour was good.
I mean, it was...
like you said, as soon as we finish the quiz, that's the best bit then, isn't it? Not that the quiz isn't fun. I enjoy the quiz, but you can let loose a bit. Can't you? It's not.
Yeah.
Feet up.
time. Let the players play.
Yes. Yeah, but I enjoyed that one, mate, last night. I enjoyed it. Didn't enjoy it too much this morning when I got up, but it was good, mate. Yeah, good. And excellent choreography.
I was Rose.
Oh, I was in trouble last night, to be fair, because I drank all the vodka, didn't I? She wasn't going to be happy. She wasn't happy.
No, you'll just have to purchase another bottle for her, won't you?
I'm going to have to straight on Amazon after this. I wasn't in.
You've been getting seen quite a lot of bother with Rose recently, haven't you?
Yeah. She's all right. She's chilled out. It's a bit of she attacks me, and then it's fine. Right.
So she just gets it off her chest and then back down to normal.
She keeps the bruises below the neckline, and everybody's happy. Nobody's any the wiser.
Oh dear.
Gavin Rae.
Yes, I played with him at Cardiff. Great lad, and a big fan of the podcast as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only our second Scotsman on the show.
That's unbelievable, really, isn't it?
Rock.
Yes.
How many there is?
McGinley, the first one, wasn't it?
Yeah. Both Scottish internationals. Mind you, if you play football and you're Scottish, you've got half a chance of being international, haven't you?
Oh dear me, a bit scary in that way. We're trying to get some listeners in from Scotland, and you've just absolutely annihilated them.
Must be full of confidence after last night, are you? Throwing shade at people.
No, he's a great lad. I mean, I only had sort of 4 or 5 months with him, but top
good
guy.
Player. Good player as well, from what I remember.
Yeah, he were.
Mm-hmm.
But should be good, this one. Should be good. I think we'll have a bit of everything. I'll have a bit sensible, bit of joking and stories. I think we'll have a little bit of everything on this one.
Dundee, Aberdeen, Rangers, Cardiff. Some titles in there.
Dundee 3 times, wasn't it? That's
yeah,
three times.
At Dundee. Cup final. Scotland International. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be good.
Yes, he's now living in Australia, so it's another early start for us.
And we've got the Friends coming up this Wednesday again. We've got some interesting guests lined up.
Yes, we have.
I can't wait, lads.
Yeah.
Hey?
I can't wait for this week's.
Is it not going to be another 6 a.m. is it?
Nah.
No.
But we've got some good ones this week. So make sure you tune in.
Yeah, we've got some good ones lined up.
Right, should we crack on? Because it's clear that not everybody's firing on full cylinders.
Well,
my eyes are painted on.
Going on to that bloody Chinese, Chris.
Come on, Gav.
Come on, let's have you.
Gavin Rae, how are we doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Across the oceans.
Yeah.
What are you laughing at? What?
You said Gary or Gavin?
Hey, Gavin, my teeth fell out.
I'm so glad I know. Well, if you listen to the podcast,
Internet,
you know
bad internet.
You know he's a sack of shit, don't you?
Sounded like you weren't convinced, so you just mumbled.
I'm a good big man. You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good, thank you.
Good.
Across the ocean in Australia. Our second one.
Yeah.
How long have
my first Scottish guy on?
John McGinley, second.
John McGinley, I'll let you off.
Is that it? Not many though, is it?
I was trying to think. I was actually trying to think, like, because obviously I listened to them. I was thinking, am I the first jock that's been on it?
John McGinley, aye.
It's not been intentional. We just don't want to travel to Scotland to fucking interview nobody. It's just too far for us.
Teammates at Cardiff. You and Parky?
Briefly.
Yeah.
Briefly.
What were your thoughts when I walked through the door, Gav?
Well, I'd obviously played against you, obviously, when you were at Preston. That, and I was looking forward to seeing what you're all about. It was interesting times, mate, wasn't it? It was just like,
yeah, well, it was a good 4 months or whatever, wasn't it?
Were you there when you beat you 6-0, Gav?
Oh, fucking straight into that, is it?
Got to get it out the way.
Mate, that day is etched in my memory. It was like, on that day, anything that could go wrong for us went wrong, and everything, like, you've done everything right. You were flying that day, and I was just like, oh. Plus, it was a 12-goal swing.
Yeah.
Because of the goal difference. And then, like, we had obviously a pretty good team, and we've got boys like Mark Kennedy, fantastic player, scoring diving, heading own goals. You're just like,
that was the best finish of the day, I think,
That was a great finish, by the way. I've watched it a few times. Some finish, yeah. I think we missed a pen as well. It was just
Roscoe missed it, didn't he? I think that run-in's worth a podcast on its own. People appreciate it because I think with 4 games, you had 4 games and you needed two points. Was that
1 point from 4 games?
And there was
the last game at Ninian was against Ipswich. Roy Keane manager. Roscoe missed a pen again, and we got beat 3-0, I think, or 3-1. So the last game at Ninian ever, we got beat, and then we went to you guys, and then we can't remember who else we played. We played Sheffield Wednesday on the last day and got beat 1-0, and then obviously you guys sneaked in the playoffs, and I'll still never sort of accept that rule about the goals scored getting you in instead of goals conceded. Just like, it was crazy.
We had some strikers at the club, didn't we, Brownie? So that's why we scored plenty of goals.
Hey, did you score that game, Brownie?
The what, mate?
Did you score that game?
I came on and scored, aye. So I'm claiming the goal that got us in there. I remember coming on and Roger Johnson just saying to us, "Fuck me, look what I'm dealing with here," and like blaming his other defenders.
That doesn't surprise me.
I can't work with these lads. I look at it. It was like that looking up and down. I can't work with these lads. I can't work with them. Like, I said, fucking hell, Roger, you're having a fucking absolute shitter, mate.
We were terrible that day. I can remember, obviously, after it, Parky, when you've obviously walking past and you hear Dave Jones digging you out.
Oh, mate, me and Mel's were, innit it? Me and Mel's, I cannot believe you've just let them 2 fat fuckers run real fucking ragged. And I'm like, he must be talking about me and Mel.
Did you put something on the door? Did you put something?
No, he went, he stormed out and Risdale were outside the so they've gone into the physio room, in the corner at Preston. So I thought, fuck it, I'm having them. So I stripped down to my sloggies and I just walked through and I've knocked on the door and I've burst in. I've gone, oh, really sorry if you're having a meeting, but I'm just looking for my diet sheet. Peter Risdale started ass giggling and fucking Dave Jones were furious. Honestly, if he could have hit us, mate, I think he'd have hit us. And he ended up fucking signing us.
Peter Risdale was stealing after that game, man. Peter Risdale used to come in the changing rooms like, mate, fuck off, man, get out of here. You know what I mean? It's the worst ever, especially when you've been absolutely pumped. We're just like, it's the last thing we need.
Started at Dundee.
Yeah.
YTS. Tell us about that. How was it coming through there?
Yeah, it was interesting. The first year I was probably as bad as I've ever been in my whole career in terms of playing wise. I was terrible. Like the first year, I was just like getting used to training first, training all the time as a pro, and I'd been out of home. Like, it was terrible. I hated it. I hated that first year. I really struggled. But it sort of started getting a bit more confident toward the end of the year.
Have you moved over as a young lad?
Yeah. I think it's funny. Like, I live in Australia now, but like going from Aberdeen to Dundee, which is like an hour, I was homesick at that point. I'd never left home. Mum and Dad done everything for me. So it was out of that environment into like playing football. And then, so we had a flat. There was like boys from the East Coast, West Coast, all boys from Glasgow, Edinburgh. And we were all in this flat. And one of the ladies that used to make the dinners at Dens at the stadium, her daughter used to come around and like cook and then clean. But then nobody was looking after us. So we were just like looking after ourselves. So even that, like getting used to that, just sharing with boys, especially boys from the West Coast, like who have got real sort of, not arrogance, but they're really like boisterous and out there. Like, and I was never like that as a kid. So all that put together, plus it was only my first year YTS, and a lot of them boys were second year, so they had that extra year of confidence and strength and being used to the environment. So yeah, I'd really struggled that first year. It was terrible.
Thing is, you speak to anybody and they go, if I had the chance to go an hour away, live with a group of lads and play football, you think that you'd absolutely love it. But on the other hand, it is hard. I can understand why people struggle.
Yeah, and I think even like getting used to doing like the YTS jobs and that, I ended up really enjoying that part of it. But to start with, I was like, I'd clean like 30 pairs of boots. Just like, what the fuck? Why am I doing this?
I've come to play football, not fucking clean toilets.
Yeah, we used to put the boots, the dirty boots, in the washing machine, and every 2 days the washing machine was fucked. But it was like,
just full of mud.
Chuck them in the washing machine, mate. 1 minute in the washing machine, full of mud. They came out sparkling. It was amazing. But then the washing machine was gone after like 2 days. So it was like, because we were doing all the kit, and putting the kit out for the first team, and sweeping the dressing rooms and that. But it's definitely something that helps you grow. But it was tough that first year for me, for sure. I hated it.
And getting on with the rest of the lads as well that you're living with, that's a massive part in it. Because if you're chucked in a house and there's a couple of lads that you're not quite getting on with,
painful, isn't it?
You can't get away from them, can you? We them at work, you wear them at night.
How would you find living with me and Johnny, Chris?
I'd be at shed. Put me a mattress in shed. Not happening.
You're not even kidding, are you? Not even kidding. He absolutely fucking
no
hates
eating. No eating.
So were you a bit apprehensive about going back for the second year then, Gav, after your first one?
Yeah, it was actually. It was like towards the end of the first year, I started to sort of get a bit more of my sort of head round it. And like the end of the first year when they bring you in and there's a squad of lads lined up outside the manager's office and there's boys coming out and you're saying, "Oh, did you get a contract?" Nah. I was like, so you're like shitting yourself going in. So I was like, eventually I got brought in and they basically said, "Listen, we've seen enough in the last little bit of the season. Go away and work on," it was like fitness, touch, heading, pretty much everything. Go away, work on this. But we've seen enough to sort of give you a second year. See, just the opportunity to come back for the second year. I was like a different player the next year. The confidence through the roof. Played all the youth team games, all reserve team games, and played first team in that second year. Just by having a bit of confidence and probably just getting used to just being in that environment. But yeah, the first year was tough. Second year, when they did offer me, I was like relieved, but then it gave me the confidence as well just to really crack on.
Were they in the Prem back then?
So it was it would have been the Championship, what it is now. So it was one below. They just came down, and then they were trying to get back up to the Premier.
Yeah.
How were the first team lads with you? They get some guidance?
Yeah, you know what? The first team lads were good. We had some like huge characters in that dressing room, and just to try and aspire to get into that dressing room was a daunting thought. Even like think about it. There were some big boys, big characters in there, and they were fucking nuts, most of them. And it was like some of the stuff that went on. I was just like, wow. I mean, is this what it means? Is this what it means to be like a football player? I was like, surprised at some of the stuff that went on, but it's good grounding. And then when you look back now, having had a career, the boys were really just enjoying it, and they're just fucking having a laugh. And it's exactly what we done. Obviously, as I got older, you get used to that. But as a kid, it was daunting for sure. Some of the boys in that dressing room.
Thanks.
So that again.
A few pranks going round. I heard something about a pigeon in a wash bag. Is that right?
Yeah, mate. It was like, like stuff you wouldn't get away with now, but it used to happen. Like, people would collect dead pigeons and put them in people's wash bags on their birthday. People would when it's the birthdays, they'd be parking their cars across the Tay Bridge. So after one of the injured boys would go in and get the keys, park their car like 15 miles away across the Tay Bridge. While the boys are at training, they come back, the keys are there's no car. And then so it's like they put on this like treasure hunt to try and find the car. The boys like
clues.
like Ansel and Gretel, you've got to just follow the pigeons.
And every like birthday, like people getting boot polished. We had a reporter from the Sun. Boys found out it was his birthday. He got taken into the dressing room, stripped naked, boot polish all over him, and chucked in the bath. I mean, it's just unheard of stuff. A reporter, mate.
How did he take it?
Oh, I think he was like putting on a brave face as if it was all right. He's probably mentally scarred. I actually don't think he's a reporter anymore. He's probably
Came of that morning when I fetched that pigeon into Cardiff, Gav.
Oh, mate, you used to get everyone in your house. Everyone used to come in like fucking Dr. Doolittle.
Oh, dear. I went in with this little bottle, like a takeaway box. Lads are like, what's in there? I says, there's a pigeon. I says, fuck off. I says, mate, there's a pigeon in this box. Got it hard. It's like trying to flutter about changing room and that. Oh, dear.
Why did you have a pigeon? Just sending letters home?
No, tell you what happened. I went back on a Tuesday and I went in my local on a Friday, on the Wednesday night, having a game of cards. And then I was going to drive back at sort of 11:30, get back at 2. And the local hunter from my village, right, phones me, says, are you in Barnsley? I says, yeah. He says, are you going to Cardiff? I says, yeah, tonight. He says, oh, champion. I said, I've got an award-winning pigeon at our house, right? I says, right. He says, it's set off from France, but it's got lost. It's coming with my pack and come here, right? So I says, right. He says, can you take it down to Cardiff for me? I says, how the fucking hell am I going to take a pigeon to Cardiff? He says, I've got it in a box. I says, right, no bother. So I went round, picked it up. He says, it's a beauty, that pigeon. I says, it's a fucking beauty. I said, it's set off from France. It's in the wrong fucking country. I said, it can't be that good, can it? So I've took it down. I said, what do you want me to do with this pigeon? He says, take it in the house. I said, I'm not fucking... So I just left it in the car, phoned this guy the next morning, says, I'll come pick it up from the training ground. Says, oh, champion. So he came in, so I took this pigeon in. It was like, fuck, it's so surreal. Award-winning pigeon.
My family used to race pigeons, up in Aberdeen. They used to race pigeons and like drive down to like London and let the pigeons off. They'd all race back to Aberdeen. Like champion pigeons. It's amazing.
Mate, there's some fucking money in it, you know. Pigeons. You can pay thousands for a pigeon. No one you see them fucking pecking about outside Chippy. Pay thousands for them.
I bet they had a field day back of your car with all them Greg's crumbs.
I'm missing Greg's birth. Can't wait till that fucker opens back up.
Who give you your first opportunity then, first team?
So Jim Duffy was the manager. So Jim Duffy signed me in the YTS. So I was a late developer in football. So all my mates were signed with Man United, Celtic, Rangers, Chelsea, and I would never had a team. I never got signed S forms. I was training with a few clubs. I trained with obviously Aberdeen when I was younger than that, but never got signed. And I ended up going to Brecon City. It's a small semi-pro club, provincial club, and I played for them in the youth team, in the youth cup, sorry. And we had a good run in the youth cup. And then Jim Duffy came up to watch me in Aberdeen, basically. And I signed, I didn't have signed any S forms. I went straight to YTS. So he signed me YTS, and then it was him that actually gave me the opportunity to play first team. And he was actually still playing at this point. He's still playing centre half.
What a bastard, by the way.
What a player he was. A great player, man. A really good player.
I wouldn't mess with him.
No way. He's from a pretty tough part of Glasgow, and he's pretty handy, I think. But yeah, what a player. He was still playing. So I actually made my debut when he was playing as well. And my first game I played left back my first game. I'll never forget this, right? I played left back. And you get the ratings in the Sun on the Monday, or the papers on the Monday. And in the Sun, I got a 9, and it says, the next Stuart Pearce. I've never played left back in my life. So,
9?
left back I played left back, but I think it was just because I was just bombing up and down, just kept getting up and down. Just like, I don't think I played left back ever again in my life, but just made my debut at left back and then moved into the middle.
That was you in the team then?
In and out, so I was in and out, and then, so Duff left he left in that summer, and then who was my youth team manager became the first team manager, John McCormack. So his nickname was Cowboy. He was big fucking unit, like a maniac from Glasgow. He was my youth team manager. He ended up becoming first team manager. And it was kind of strange because he absolutely loved me youth team, and then reserves, pushing me on for first team all the time. But as soon as he got the manager's job, I was totally binned. I was like, what the fuck happened there? But it was like totally out the picture. It was so strange. And I think it's just because you got control of the first team, you got a bit of budget, so he signed players, which is fair enough. But I was sort of cast to the side, and I was just like, it's a bit tough to take. But yeah, we didn't have the best relationship after that. We had a good relationship to start with, but certainly not after that. And it was tough. What's that?
You go and speak to him about why?
You know what? It's funny. I actually cringe thinking about this, right? But when I was out the team, like not even a look in, I was obviously fuming. I was still training with the first team, still like on the fringes. And I was saying, I was saying to all the boys, I'm fucking raging, man. Like, what's going on here? And then a couple of the older boys were like, you should go and see him. And I was like, you think I should go? And they said, yeah, I mean, that's what you normally do. I was like, all right, I'm going to see him. Right, fuck it, I'm going to go in, right? So I've went, tapped his door, right? So, Gaffer, can I have a word? He's like, open the door. I've walked in, sat down. He's like, what is it? I says, I just wanted to find out what's happening, why I'm not in the team, He's like, how fucking dare you? I fucking shut. I was like, what? He's like, how fucking dare you come in and question me? You're just a young kid. And I was like, oh no, I'm just wanting to find out, get the fuck out. And I was like, oh my God. So I was like, went out and I was like, I was that devastated. The boys are like saying, how did it go? How did it go? And I was like, yeah, no, it's all right. Good chat.
We both got things off his chest we wanted to.
Yeah. Shit myself. Absolutely shit myself. So it was like the next 24 hours, couldn't sleep, cringing. The next day, he actually told me, he's like, listen, I'm sorry about yesterday, I was maybe overreacted and I can understand what you're thinking that. But for that 24 hours, I was like, fuck, I'm never doing that again. I'm never questioning it again. But yeah, no, he was all right after that. But yeah, no, we just didn't go on after that, really.
Was Noel Blake there?
So Noel Blake was in the first team when I was in the YTS. Big Blakey, what a unit, what a gentleman though, what a big unit. He's obviously been involved in football for a while, and I actually used to clean his boots, and we're actually the same size. So he used to give me his old hand-me-down copas in World Cups. I used to love him at the time. It was great. But one day,
you used to wear copas, mate, and you battered me when I came to Cardiff in them, and you used to wear them.
Mate, early days when you're getting them for nothing, 100% I'm wearing them.
Mate, that is fucking that is scandalous, mate. I used to get when I went to Cardiff, mate. I used to get pelters so I'm probably the only one with black boots. Look at the fucking state of them. Look at them. I'm like, these are an absolute institution in football. So all of it's all misshaped.
When so Big Blakey was obviously in the first team, big unit of centre half, and obviously I mentioned about the first team having big characters, and they were all used to always fuck about in that. And I can remember once being YTS, and I was cleaning the dressing room, and Blakey had been out training, he came back in, and the boys had decided to play a prank on him. So they're like, what can we do? We'll wind him up. Obviously all shit scared of him, but thinking, it'll be a good laugh, we'll have a laugh and that. So they've hammered his flip-flops to the floor, like nailed them into the floor, you know, like the old nail them into the floor trick. So Blakey's came out of the shower. I can remember I was like cleaning the dressing room, and he's came back out the shower at the bath, like ages later. Hardly anyone there. There's a few boys left, a few first teamers, and he's got changed, and then he's went to put his flip-flops on, and he's like went to move, and he like stacked it, and he fell on the floor. He's got up, and he's like he's obviously seen what happened. He's no way, I can't believe they've done this. It was his grandmother's like final parting gift to him, and the boys have hammered them into the ground.
Oh no!
Went nuts, mate. Everyone just cleared the area. He was chucking things about. I was like, get the fuck out of here. He was mental. Went mental.
What are the chances of that, though?
I know.
I know, that's the thing. Like, and obviously, once he calmed down and that, he'd have a laugh about it. But at that minute, he was going nuts. And him, when he's going nuts, is just not a pretty sight. It was just like, get out. Everyone get the fuck out of here.
The fact that he actually fell on his fucking face as well. I'm
think
sure
that's
that didn't help. Yeah.
That's what made it worse, eh?
Talking about the big characters, trips away, because I mean, I don't like to generalise, but if you go on holiday and there's a group of Scottish lads arrive, you know there's going to be trouble, don't you? It's going to be rock. There's going
to be sunburn, don't you?
Yeah. It must have been eventful.
Yeah, no, we had a good few trips away. I mean, we used to go to Magaluf every end of the year, all the time, with Dundee lads. But that year when we won the league, like the club paid for us to go to Magaluf, like we got a trip. Funny, we had a few boys that didn't really drink, didn't drink at all. So Jim McAnally was teetotal. Brian Irvin was like born again Christian. So they went like visiting churches in Mallorca. Well, we were on the beach getting absolutely steamboats every day. But they'd been
visiting church. I didn't even know they got churches in fucking Magaluf.
Got Red Lion
battered on the Daiquiri Palace, and the boys are visiting the churches. But it was a good group, and that was the year that Hearts won the Scottish Cup that year, and we met them out there because they got paid for as well to go to Magaluf. And never forget Stevie Fulton. You remember Stevie Fulton, the centre midfielder? Remember him? I think he played down at Bradford. I think he did come down, play for Celtic and that, and he was an absolute maniac. So we were on the beach one day, seeing all the Hearts boys, obviously all the Dundee lads. He's absolutely steaming. He's like lighting his own top on. Like, he's got a lighter and he's lighting his own t-shirt on fire. And I'm like, you fucking serious? Mate, are you all right? And it just kept going up in flames. He's like, nah, it's all right. And I'm like, mate, you need to settle down. And then he's a shit anyway. They were saying, we'll beat you every game next year, because we'd also been promoted to the Premiership. Said, he's easy, he's a rubbish. All the boys remember it. The next year we beat them 4 times. The 4 times we played them, we beat them the 4 times. So it was 12 points we took off them. So because we remembered it from Magaluf the year before.
Jesus, man. There's banter and there's banter. I'm not too sure who really benefits from somebody setting their own t-shirt afire.
Yeah, boys had to take a lighter off him. It was just like, and his t-shirt, just take his t-shirt off.
I remember we always used to get Scottish lads down when I was at Sunderland, and they didn't want to sign for anybody up there in the youth team because there was just loads of scraps. The youth team used to fight all the time, proper scraps. It was, and the lads at Sunderland couldn't believe it. They were like, "What do you mean? I've?" He said, "Yeah, we just get the boxing gloves off. I've scraps," and we were like, "Fuck that."
Yeah, our manager used to do that every time there was a disagreement in training. It was like you'd get a glove each. So after training, you'd all come back to like the gym, or we didn't really have a gym. It was like a hall, and you get like
2 sets of gloves, or someone getting a left-hander.
Yeah,
so someone's getting a left hand.
Somebody's getting a left-hander in. So you had you would just chuck them on the floor, and you just had to dive and get the glove. Obviously, hoping you got the right one. But it was like, so any time there was any disagreement, it was a glove each. You'd be on the mat just scrapping, with the coaches watching you, with the first team watching you. All
exchanging money.
Just going for it. It was fucking nuts.
Sounds like a scene from Fight Club, doesn't it?
It was, I don't know, like, I'm definitely a much more chilled person now, but in the youth team, I don't know if it was because that first year wasn't going great. Like, I just used to want to fight everyone. And there was a guy from up our way, Jim Hamilton, played for Hearts, and that he's a good player, Motherwell. And I thought because he's from up where I'm from, Aberdeen, he's from Peterhead, I thought like we'd be like quite tight, but he was like nearly in the first team, and I don't know, we just sort of rubbed each other up the wrong way. I was quite mouthy and probably pretty annoying. And he's like, he offered me out, he just says like, come on then, up the back of the stand. And I was like, what do you mean? He says, no, me and you, we'll go for a scrap up the back of the stand. I'm like, obviously, shit myself, but because all the boys are like, I'm like, yeah, all right, fuck it, come on, let's go. So we're walking up the back of the stand. So all the youth team, just the youth team boys came. So we walk up across the pitch, main stand across the pitch, up the back of the stand, the old stand. There's like a big gravel area. So me and Hammy, he's like, right, come on in. So I'm like, right. So we'll both get ready to go. He's done this like kung fu, like karate kick, like just missed my head. I'm like, and then we're just like lumping into each other. And then all the boys just stopped it. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, mate? And then, but after that, we were fine. But it was like the fact he'd done this like karate move on me, I was like, this is so surreal. There's another time when I can remember I had really bad toothache. And because, so it was in the afternoon, I'd been to the dentist, my tooth was killing me. And we're in the laundry room doing all the washing and the folding of the, all the kit for the first team. And then I was over the sink cleaning the boots. Somebody's like launched this ball right off my head. And I was like, oh, I've lost the plot. Turned around, bang. First person I seen, I just, fuck you. And it was like, fuck you. Nothing to do with him. I was like, but I'd lost the plot like at that point because it wasn't going well. I felt terrible, and then I was like, wow, like I need to calm down. So after that, sort of calmed down. But
do you think it was that environment that made you like that? Where managers getting you fighting and you're on edge all the time.
Definitely, and plus because I felt probably like so inferior to a lot of the players and my ability, and just feeling like rubbish about the whole situation. I was proper angry, and it was just like sort of probably letting all that out, and it was not the right way to do it, but it was interesting times.
Just the nearest kid got a right hook.
First person, Donny McDonald, his name was. I remember his name, Donny McDonald.
Donny McDonald on his ass.
He's like, what the fuck you doing?
Imagine youth team managers at like Man U and Man City. If there's a bit of a fracas in training, right, lads, in the gym.
Yeah.
It's totally changed now, man. And it's like, even then, like, just having the audacity to even like go in the first team dressing room, or like you just wouldn't do it. You have to sort of earn your right to get into that dressing room. That's totally changed these days, and it's all wrong, man. It needs to. I don't know how they get it. I don't know if they'll get it back, but the respect is gone for sure. The challenge to get into that first team dressing room is gone because players think they've made it already.
Yeah. It must have been mad because I was looking. Obviously, you did 2 years in the Prem, and you've got this, like you say, it's mainly Scottish contingents. And then does Ivano Benetti come in?
Yeah.
And does he just bring in a lot of foreigners as well, like all at once?
Yeah. So they were trying to. I think the club they tried to like mirror. I think it was Atletico Madrid in their model where they bought loads of like players on the fringes from different clubs in Europe, and then sort of got them playing every week, and then sort of sold them. But then the arse fell out of the transfer market, so the model was fucked from day one, basically. But we had a lot of really good players, which was unsustainable over time. But at the time, like playing with them, it was like some of the players we had it was unbelievable, and it was frustrating because after fighting to get into the first team, I'd played 2 years pretty much in the first team in the Premier League. Under Jockey, and then he got let go. And then the Benettis came in, and they've obviously not done any homework on who'd been there previously, the players of that. Because I remember the pre-season, I came in, he didn't even know my name. I'd played every single game in the Premier League the year before, bar one. Didn't even know my name. He would call me number 12. I had number 12 training kit. Call me number 12.
Come in, number 12.
I was like, wow, like, what's happening here? Like, totally different. First training session pre-season, like the culture shock was just totally different because they had their own training regime. It was very tactical. very fitness-based, less ball work, but the games on the weekend were enjoyable, but really tactical fitness work. And even the first day they came into training, like they were having a beer at lunchtime in the lunch and in with the dinner in the canteen on the fags and that. And I'm like, just so different to what we've been used to. And there was obviously an influx of a lot of players from different countries as well. Some good, some bad.
come in? Was it Canigea, the lad from Argentina?
Yeah. So he came in.
Canigea, Claudio Canigea came.
Yeah. Claudio Canigea played for Dundee, mate.
50 caps for Argentina.
What did you call him, Chris?
I don't know. Carry on. Can
you get something?
Yeah.
They're loose today. They're loose.
Yeah, so like we signed loads of players, and there was mad rumours going about players we were signing. And then one of the rumours was Canigea. And we were like, nah, no way, man. No way is he going to come in. And turns up at training. He'd been out for 18 months. Remember, he was in Italy and he got banned for drug testing or substance abuse, something crazy anyway. He was out for a good while. No questions, yeah. And then he turned up to training. So we were like, this is nuts. Chilled, laid back guy. He was 33 when he came to Dundee, and he is still by far the best player I've ever played with. Like, I played with some good players. He's the best player I've ever played with. He was unreal. He was like 5 levels above anything I've seen. He was amazing.
Did he do well there?
He done brilliant there. He done very well for us. And then he got his move to Rangers from that. And then he done really well at Rangers. So he was phenomenal for us. He was still so quick. He was like ripped to shreds. Like, I don't know whether he'd been on the steroids or that, because he was ripped like proper.
He had 18 months on the gear, hadn't he? I could look up after 18 months on the gear.
He used to, like, he'd come to training. He'd take his son and that would come to training, and he would just like kick the ball about. He was very relaxed. Come the game time on the Saturday though, he was just like, he was next level. He was unreal. It's funny, like every game before. So we'd go out for the warm-up, you'd come back in from the warm-up, and then Ivano would be doing his team talk, or Dario, who were like co-managers, brothers, and you would just hear, you'd hear this from the toilet, and we're like, what the fuck's that? He used to go in and he used to smoke fags right before the game. He'd go into the toilet, just smoke them, and then he'd go out and be amazing.
Right,
mad, isn't it?
Amazing, mate. He was phenomenal.
Benetti, don't just let him get on with it. No.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, you take it because he was so far,
so good,
like so good. Like him in his pomp must have been frightening. Like he must have been ridiculous in his pomp.
Yeah.
So were he not a drink then? Because a lot of them foreign lads just used to come over and used to sit in coffee and fags, weren't it?
Yeah, no, never used to drink. Like he was like. Very, as I say, like, he was like, at that point, he was a family man. He'd take the kids to training, very chilled out. Train when he wanted, like join in every now and again. Obviously, we were like, do what you want, mate, because you're far superior to any of us.
Yeah.
But he used to turn it on in the game, so he sort of accepted it. He was, honestly, mate, he was a joke. He was so good.
Yeah. It must be frustrating that, when you're playing for like Dundee, well, obviously you went yourself, but when you get a really good player, they've got a season, haven't they, before Rangers or Celtic come along and say, yeah, come on, lads, we'll have you now.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's always going to happen. And certainly Scotland, you'll see players that have a good season in a bit, and then the top two will come in, and they're normally like sort of vying with each other to try and pick up the talent. But
does that end up being a pride thing between them? Do you think lads will have got better contracts at one or the other, just so the other one doesn't have them? If you know what I mean?
Yeah. For sure, yeah, no, that'll have happened for sure over the time. There's definitely been times that both of them have been in for a player, and then they've obviously chose one, and they definitely try and get one up in each other. But they're just such big clubs in Scotland, for such a small country. They're two massive clubs,
Yeah.
How did it come about? You getting your move there? How long were you in the team at Dundee before you started hearing the whispers?
Yeah, I'd been at Dundee for a while, so I'd been Dundee probably 2 years YTS and then about 5 years pro. So I'd been in playing Premier League for about 5 years, and then burst into Scotland, so I was getting games with Scotland now as well. And then there'd been talk, like interest through my agent, so the clubs are interested, and it was first interested when Dick Advocat was the manager, and then that he sort of left, and then that sort of went cool, and then eventually got the move with Alec McLeish. But it was through sort of different circumstances. So our club, after all the players that had came in, had went into administration. So I was viewed as one of the assets to be kept on. So, you know, that was in October. I moved into January to Rangers. Club got a bit of money. Perfect move for me. Rangers had a few injuries, so which probably sped it up. So it just sort of worked out right. But there was Alec McLeish had been in contact with my agent for a while before that.
Plenty of nines in the paper then, every week, was it?
Well, I had done it up for that. Yeah, I had a few shockers over the year. I remember we played at Parkhead. I played right of a 3-5-2, so right wing back in the graveyard shift. I don't know why I was there. I used to have legs, mate. I used to be up and down all day. I used to be box to box. Certainly wasn't that towards the end of my career, but I used to be a box to box midfielder. That's what I was. So I used to have good energy, good athleticism, get up and down. And for some reason, I found myself right wing back at Parkhead, and it was, I don't know if you remember him, a guy called Lubin Moravcik. It was his first game, and nobody'd heard of him. And this guy turned out to be amazing. He was taking corners with his right foot, and then he'd go over and take a corner with his left foot. He was a phenomenal player. Scored 2 goals that game. I played right wing back. Henrik Larsson nutmegged me from about 15 yards away, like passing through my legs. 15 yards away, mate. I was like, how did that happen? You know, just like, what? It was, it was one to forget. And then I can remember looking at the paper on the Monday, thinking, you know, I'll probably take a 4 or a 5 here. You know, after getting like 6-1, I think we got pumped. It was horrendous. I can remember my mate's car. My mate who came down from Aberdeen to watch the game. His car got broken into as well, outside Parkhead as well. On that same day, it was just like, it was the worst day ever. 6-1, back up the road to Aberdeen, freezing cold because the window was out and we just had like cardboard over it, holding it up all the way back to Aberdeen. So I'm thinking, I'll get in, look in the paper on Monday, and you know, be happy with like a 4. If I scrape a 5, I'm buzzing. Get to look at the paper. I got a 2. I played 90 minutes. 2. 90 minutes, and I got a 2. I don't think I've ever seen it before or since. A 2. 90 minutes, mate. I wasn't like a sub that came on for 5 minutes. In 90 minutes. That's how bad I was.
Down the newsagent's buying a stack. We'll get rid of these.
I was like, whoa, that was harsh, but yeah.
Was that the average rating? Did everyone else get 2s and 3s? Or were you just a standout?
A standout too, mate. Like, I was the only one that had the 2. I was like, I haven't played the full game. I was thinking, wow, it must have been terrible.
You've got to be looking at 2 own goals and a red card for a 2, surely.
I never had scored anything.
And a 15-yard nutmeg.
Oh yeah, that didn't help. But I must have just been such a passenger in the game that I was just like a 2. Just like I was getting.
Going back to Rangers, what was the crack with the? Did you get made captain early doors or something?
Nah, so this was like, when I first joined Rangers, I joined Rangers in the January, and my first game was an Old Firm game, but I had a niggling hamstring injury. But I'd done I'd never had any major injuries at Dundee when I was there for like the 10 years in total. Gets to Rangers, first game, pulled my hamstring in the first game. It sort of set the tone for my whole move. And I remember like when I first do my medical to sign, I was like, right, I'll do all the like the MRIs and that. So that was all fine. But then you had to go to the training ground and I had to do like an actual training session with a few of the injured lads just to make sure I was fine. My hamstring was fine because I'd been in and out of my hamstring for about 6 weeks. And they wanted me to play in this Old Firm game 2 days later. So it comes to this training with the physio, and we started to do this skills session, right? And Parky, you'll know me. I'm no skills, mate.
No, we're both in the same boat, mate. We're both in the same boat.
That's not my game. So we've done this session with the physio, and it was me, Ronald de Boer, and Michael Moles, so 2 Dutch internationalists, and me doing this skills session. I was like, oh my god, what? I mean, I think I've done 1 Cruyff turn in my whole career. That's it. You know, that's get it and give it. That's what I done. So this hole, I was proper sweating. Managed to get through it. gets to the game, and then done my hamstring after 30 minutes, Old Firm game at Parkhead in my debut. And then I was out for about 7 weeks, came back, done my cruciate, and then I missed 2 years solid because I done my cruciate ligament, and then I done my quadricep tendon while I was rehabbing from a cruciate. So the Rangers move was terrible, but during that time, or towards the sort of end of it, Paul Le Guen had came in, so he was the Lyon manager, and then there was talk of him going to like Real Madrid and that, and Rangers managed to get him. So we were all thinking, it's like, that's a great coup, you know, we're buzzing with that. And so it was a fresh start for me. I was back fit, ready to go. But we talk about different cultures. I mean, you weren't even allowed to like talk whilst stretching in the warm-ups and training. Like you to be proper concentrated. And like Scottish lads, you know, the majority of us UK lads will have a laugh, but we'll work hard. Like no matter what, we'll always work hard, no problem. But it was like you had to be proper focused on the stretching. Oh, all right, mate. The fitness was outrageous. And then I was sort of out the team. And then towards the December, January time, so I was out the team, and Fergie was the captain. Obviously, Fergie had been there for years, Rangers captain, Rangers great. He pulled them into the office, and they'd sort of had a falling out. It was nothing, I don't think it was anything too major, but they'd had like a falling out. And he pulled Fergie into the office, and he stripped him of the captaincy and says, "You'll never play for this club again while I'm the manager or whatever." Well, so Fergie's came into the dressing room, and he's like saying, like, well, I'm not captain anymore, and I need to just get my stuff and go. And we're like, what? So the next minute, I get a shout from his assistant, Yves Kalou. He's like, "Gavin, come here." I'm like, all right. So I was like, fuck. Went into the manager's room, the manager's office. He's like, "I've let Barry know he's now no longer the captain of Rangers. You're now the captain of Rangers." And I was like, what? Like, I never really said it. I was like taken aback, and I was like thinking, I've not even been playing. I haven't even been in your team, mate. I wasn't even playing in the team. I think he respected, like, I got on fine with him. I've never really had any arguments with too many managers because I'm pretty good pro and no issues. But I wasn't even playing. I think he respected.
You good mates with Fergie as well? Were you like good mates?
Fergie, like, we'd grown up, same age. We'd played against each other in youth team, played for Scotland together. You know, nothing. We were teammates, really good teammates. And then, so he pulled me in and he said, "I'm making you captain." I was like, right, okay. And then, so there was a game the next day against Motherwell. And I never used to get too nervous before games, but that game, proper stress, like, because I had to come into the team and I hadn't been playing. 2, I was captain, and everyone was thinking, including myself, why am I captain? You know, like, there's millions of other players there's loads of other players that could be captain. So obviously he's done it to make a point. We ended up winning the game. We won the game 1-0, which I was obviously very relieved about. But then, because of the whole sort of fallout from it, like, it was all over the press. I mean, you know, the press in Scotland's crazy as it is. He ends up leaving like 6 days later, and then didn't even say goodbye. Didn't say anything to me. Didn't say, "Oh, listen, I'm sorry to put you in that position or put you in the middle of that." Just left. Just got sacked, paid up, left. And I was like, "Are you serious? You can't put me right in the middle of it." Totally getting stressed on me for no reason. Like, I'm thinking the same as the fans, thinking, why the fuck's he captain? Don't get me wrong, great to have done it, but horrible situation we put in.
You were just a scapegoat for him then, really, weren't you?
Big time. See if you know what, Parky. See if he'd called me and he says, "Listen, sorry to put you in that," and you know, it wasn't just to make a point, but it was like, I wanted to really give you an opportunity or anything like that, just anything. Then I would have respected him, no problem. He just got his stuff and just fucked up. I was like, brilliant, cheers, thanks for that. I was like,
I hope you play on it though. I hope you play. You want to get it on your Twitter handle, Rangers captain.
You know what? I mean, everyone still talks about it. You know, I've been lucky to be Rangers captain. I get it. I did do it. We had saying that we had a game, so I think he left, and then we had a cup game against Dunfermline like a few days later, and Walter Smith and Coisty were getting installed as the new management team. So Walter was coming back to the club, And then, and I'd worked with Watler at Scotland, so I was like, perfect. And then, but the interim manager was Ian Durant for the cup game. And it's against Dunfermline, so we're away in a hotel. And at this point, I'm still captain, right? So we you do the pre-match meal, and then so right, everyone get your bags on the bus. We'll leave for the game in like 15 minutes or whatever. So I was in with Nacho Novo, me and the wee man, and then back up the room, gets our bags. We come out, no bus. I'm like, what? Like, are we early or late or what's happening? Bus had left without us. Bear in mind, I'm captain at this point. The bus is gone. That's how much. Me and Nacho, two players, bus is gone. And I was like, summed up the day. We get to the game against the Fairman, the pumpers were just like, nah, that's it. So it's like, I think it was my last game captain. So,
were you late? Did you just get the wrong time?
No, we got the right time, but what they had done, they hadn't counted the numbers, and they'd left about 5 minutes early. They thought everyone was on, didn't count the numbers.
So they went.
The bus come
Captain's
back.
not on the ship. Pulling a taxi.
Wow.
Can we get a taxi ASAP?
You know what it was? It was like thinking, right, this is not a good start to the day. I hope the rest of the day doesn't go like this. The day actually got worse. We got pumped from Dunfermline. We were out the cup, and that was it. I was just like, nah, it's horrible.
What were it like? Obviously, you're at Rangers. What's it like when you go in to play at Partick Thistle, and it's like, these shitholes and that up there? I know they're not all. I'm not generalising them all shithole, but from this massive, beautiful stadium, then you're going to play Alloa or something like that. It must be like a mental thing to get your head around it.
Yeah, every game's like away game's like a cup game, I imagine.
Honestly, that's exactly it. Every game is like a cup final. Like just with the coverage in Scotland, the two teams have got. The two teams have to win every game. Every game. If they don't win, it's a disaster. A draw, disaster. They get absolutely hammered. So all the other clubs know they've not really got much to lose, and will just like take it to them as if it's a cup final. It's so grueling every week to get to that level. Obviously, it helps if you've got really good players. But if you go through a sticky patch, when I was there, we won the league the first year I was out injured, and then there were sticky patches in between that. But it's tough going. All these clubs are just up for just to take that big scalp, and it's tough going every week. Yeah.
Was Rickson there? Rickson would have been there.
Fernando was there, yeah. So Fernando and I, we got on well. It was like, so my wife and his wife got on well. We were quite friendly, and he was Fernando was nuts. He was totally wired, like always full of energy. We used to just kick lumps out each other in training, like absolutely smash each other in training. I think he liked it. I think he liked the fact that I'd go up against him, and I didn't mind the fact if he smashed me in training, I was fine with it because I knew he could take it. But as some boys, I know if you smash them in training, they don't like it. And me and him we never sort of said, and it was like an unwritten rule between us, like, you just batter fuck at each other and good. We'll take it.
You should have got the boxing gloves and sorted out once and for all.
Get the gloves, lads.
What's it like in and about the city then? Because for me, when I was in Cardiff, it was so surreal. It was like film stars in Cardiff, I thought, from what I've been used to. It was like everyone was just magnified on you. You know what I mean? You walk around the St David's Centre and people are like gawping at you as if you're in a fucking zoo. That's in Cardiff. I mean, what was it like on a night out in Glasgow? And
yeah, mate, like that, but times 10. It's crazy, mate. Like, you actually have certain areas in the city you're okay to go to. Certain bars, okay to go to. Other ones, don't even go near it because you know you're going to get trouble just because it's like the Celtic side.
Yeah.
Just crazy, mate. Like, half the city will love you, half the city will hate you.
Did you get any abuse?
Oh, always. Everyone does. Everyone does. It was, mate, even from the Rangers fans used to get abuse.
That's that bastard who took the captaincy off Barry Ferguson.
I think the biggest thing that people don't understand, Parky, with the Old Firm in Scotland is the press coverage, mate. It's crazy. Like, it is
for the week leading up to it, and probably the week after, I imagine.
No, but not even like Old Firm games, yes, but I just mean in general, mate. Like, in general, because like there's the two national papers. It's a small country with two huge clubs. You're talking like 5 to 6 pages dedicated to each team every day. So they've got to fill out the paper. Like, I remember when I was on if you had to do the press duty on a Friday, like if you got singled out and the press lady says, "Oh, it's your turn to do the press," you're like, "Oh, fuck," because you know they're going to try and not try and chip you up, but anything you say out of turn, they'll just hammer you. I mean, I remember I just joined, right? Just joined Rangers, wet behind the ears, didn't know anything about that. Obviously, you learn that over time. I got asked in one of the press conferences, one of the first one I done, like, do you think it's different because you've grown up in Scotland to some of the foreign players, knowing how much it means to play for Rangers? And I just says, I just said, well, yeah, maybe, because obviously I've grown up watching the team the whole year, 20 years I've grown up. Maybe. Next day in the paper, whole back headline. Remember, we were playing Hearts on that day, so it was a Friday. The game's on the Saturday. We're going to wait at Hearts. So in the paper, Gavin Rae basically says foreigners don't have a clue what it means to play for Rangers. And bearing in mind, I'm in the dressing room with Stefan Kloss, Champions League winner, won the league with Rangers, cups with Rangers, Mikey Moles, international, Ronald de Boer, Dutch international, and they're picking up the paper on the Saturday and saying, who's this guy saying? Mate, I remember coming on the bus and I was like hiding at the back of the bus just because I'd seen it and I was like, oh no, it's going to be the worst feeling ever. So we played the game. I think we drew 1-1, but we'd scored one. We got a penalty and then Craig Moore scored it. We got it. I was like, yeah, buzzing, just get this win. Everyone will forget about it. They've equalised the last minute. So we got into the dressing room. And so it's all like everyone's fuming with the result. And then Stefan Kloss, the goalkeeper's like, and you, like, pointing me out, he's like, how fucking dare you say that? And I was like, oh, no, that's just Steph. Like, you know, I didn't mean to say it like that. I was like, and then, so Mikey Moles was like, Steph, come on, man. You know what the press are like. You know, it just like maybe played on his words and that. But that was a horrible experience. And it just, they just magnify everything. So you've got to be proper on your toes and anything can get construed. But after that, I had a really good relationship with Steph. But that day, I was just like proper cringing. Like,
would you not have been better off addressing it like before and say, listen, lads, I did not say that for starters, and just try and clear the air in a way?
Diffuse the situation.
Because it was a game, because the game was on a Saturday, and because it was like we were on the way to the game, didn't want to speak too much about it. I spoke to the boys at the dinner and says, like, obviously I never really said it like that, but he still had it in his head. So I'd sort of said it before, but because of the result, and he obviously still had it in his head, he still dug me out after the game. I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, right.
If he'd won the game, he'd have probably not said a thing, would he? You know what I mean?
Exactly. And then he'd been forgotten about. But the thing is, you grow used to it because NN's a headline, and just how much it's magnified and the pressure of playing for that club's parquet is huge, mate. Huge.
Yeah. Well, Ryan, saying you had a bit of a to-do with Hemdani.
Yeah.
Right?
Hemdani?
Hemdani, yeah. So Brahim Hemdani, right? So he was just midfield player. And he played my position. And he was, don't get me wrong, he was a good player, but I just felt he was a bit of a fanny around the place. I just thought he was a bit of that. He was just a bit annoying because he used to, like, in the dressing room, he'd be like proper stone-faced and proper quiet with all the UK boys. But with the French boys, like with loads of French boys, he'd be like the soul of the party. Like laughing and joking and that. But like with us, he'd be like stone-faced and like, what's this guy's deal, you know? And then it was a game after them. It was actually in training after that Dunfermline game. So got left off the bus, got pumped 3-0 out the cup. Had been captain with all the stuff that was going on. And he was like fanning about in training. And I was just like, next time he gets the ball, I'm just going to smash him. So so he's like, my head had gone. I was like, next time he gets the ball, I'm going to smash him. So the ball came to him, cleaned him up. And I just like turned around. And he jumped up and he bitch slapped me. Like, it was like one of them just landed. I was like, I've like, at that point, my head's gone even more. I didn't think he would get up. I didn't think he would do anything. When I turned around, he like bitch slapped me around the ear. I was like, I've turned around, grabbed him, and then Big Dad O'Purso he just came in the middle of us and and I couldn't go anywhere. I was like, right, okay. Not joking. 20 minutes later, I'm in the dressing room. One of the press guys "Oh, I heard you had a bit of a spat with him, Danny, at training." That's what it's like. Mental.
You should have done a semi, mate. Went and got your training kit on, your fighting kit, and come back.
I know.
Let's have it.
Yeah, no.
Man. So, oh dear me.
So that's a proper Scottish term, that as well. He's a pure fanny. He's a pure fanny. I seen. Did you see someone spray painted on a billboard this week? Boris Johnson is a pure fanny in Glasgow.
Right.
So is it? So do they have a page for people out and about spotting you on nights out and stuff? Then.
No, it's not so much that, but like everything gets around just so quickly. Like it's very rare you could have a night out. And to be fair, the boys loved a night out. Like the boys went out together and had a good laugh and that, but it would just get circulated so quickly back to the club. You're just like, it ended up being not even worth it. And we ended up going even Christmas dues. We had a couple of good Christmas dues. We had an amazing one in Liverpool. We played it. I think we played at Ibrox, and then we chartered a jet down to Liverpool. I'm like, chartering a jet? He's mad. Like it was just like tiny little thing. It was like a car with wings. Basically, it was a tiny little thing. And
Cranking.
Yeah, it was terrible. Like, and it wasn't that expensive. So we got like played the game, down to onto the airport, down to Liverpool. So we flew down to Liverpool with this small charter jet. I ended up going out in the night out in Liverpool. We're flying back the next day. So we're in this nightclub, and then we spots the captain and like the stewards and the stewardesses like of the plane. So they ended up coming out with us, getting absolutely bladdered, right? Bladdered. And we're flying back the next morning, not morning first thing, but like mid-morning. So they were out with us to all hours, steaming. We gets up in the hotel. Big Tomo's got the guitar out. We're having a good laugh and that. Like, come on, boys, we need to go to the airport, get back up the road. Gets to the airport. Obviously, they'd been out with us, obviously still hungover. The flight back was just mental. It was chaos. Big Tom was flying the plane. Like, they're letting us fly the plane now. It was nuts. What? Absolutely nuts. Like, because it was just us on this plane. They were like, you got Tom up the front. He was in control of the plane. Big Bob Malcolm, the whole way home, just kept shouting out, like, in the loudest ever, we're all going to crash. Like, just for banter, like, all the way back, it was just chaos.
You don't need that on a hangover, do you?
Nah, it was just, but then the boys just kicked on. The boys kicked on, landed in Glasgow, straight back out, and it was crazy, mate. But you had to get away from Glasgow because there's no way you could have done it in Glasgow.
As if Tomo sat flying the plane.
Mate, mental. He's got the earmuffs on and just like flying it a little bit.
I'm the captain now.
Somebody put some Top Gun music on quick.
Yeah. Get that guitar back out.
Oh, man.
Jesus, man.
Who was it that signed you for Cardiff?
Dave Jones. So the 4 years I was at Cardiff was with Jones. So I had an option of staying at Rangers for another year because Walter came in. I'd done okay, but I still wasn't playing as much as what I would want. And I just felt I just need to get away. Like, so I had the chance to go to either Norwich or Cardiff. Peter Grant, I think, was the manager at Norwich at the time.
Grant,
Yeah. And Duff was the assistant. So Duff obviously knew me from Dundee. He was keen to get us down. But when I spoke to Granty, it just felt he wasn't that keen. Whereas Dave Jones and Peter Ridsdale were like, nah, this is what I want you when you get back to before we were at Rangers and getting back to full fitness. They just sort of made me feel really welcome and just thought, yeah, let's do it. So I went to Cardiff and I had 4 years there and it was great. I loved it.
Be fair,
Just
mate,
a case of
that's one for your agent. That can you get us a move? Yeah. Could you get us Cardiff and Norwich? Is there any chance you can get somewhere just a little bit closer, please? You know what I mean?
It was a nightmare. But because I'd never been out of Scotland, mate, I was thinking, no worries, we'll just go down. And, everywhere's quite close. In Scotland, you travel at a game in the morning of the game because it's so close. There's no hardly any overnight games. Obviously, come to Cardiff, and we played like that first year. We must have played about 60 games with the cup run. And like travelling away in like the 4 hours and training on the Friday and then travelling. It was like not used to that at all. Just totally new to me.
Were it just a case of wanting more first team football then if they offered you another contract at Rangers? Was it trying something new?
It was more a fresh start. Like I've been in Scotland for ages. I'd played. You play everyone 4 times in Scotland, so it gets not repetitive, but I'd done that for years, and it was just a chance to do something fresh. That's what I needed at that point, especially after my injuries. So to get an option to move away was perfect. Just let's just do it. I could have stayed at Rangers, could have struggled again. I just think, what, let's just make a clean break and go.
How old were you at this point when you moved to Cardiff?
I'd have been about 29, maybe 29. Yeah, about 29.
Not a bad first season to arrive either with a cup run, FA Cup final.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. I think the biggest thing for me that year was I think I played 55 games, 50 starts, 54 games, 55 games, and that's nearly double what I'd played in the 3.5 years at Rangers. So it was just validation of getting away and just getting a fresh start. It was the best thing I could have ever done, and obviously coupled with the cup run, it was just this is amazing. It's the first time playing the FA Cup. I'm getting the FA Cup final. I'm thinking this is easy.
Yeah.
What's the big fuss? I just go down to England, play the cup final. Fuck it, doesn't matter, does it?
I thought there was a difference in standard. What are they on about?
Yeah, no, it was good. But,
I mean, bloody hell, FA Cup final. That must have been some experience.
yeah, no, it was amazing. I mean, you have the build up. You get with the cup final song. Big Tomo done a song with a guy from Cardiff who was a songwriter. We've done it in the studio.
So you don't get the good old cup final song anymore.
I don't do it anymore. It's so it was great fun. We got you get the suits like Liverpool had. I think it was Armani. We got Marks and Spencer suits that were amazing.
Have you still got it?
I do think I've still got it somewhere.
Wedding last week.
So yeah, the build up in that was amazing. But the cup run. So we started at Chasetown. The first game was away to Chasetown. Obviously a non-league team, and we went down 1-0. Kev McNaughton scores an own goal, gets a hot dog flipped off his head when he's in the net, when he fell into the net. Absolutely nuts. And then we got Witts obviously scored a goal, and Aaron Ramsey was coming through. He scored a goal that day, so that sort of set us off. And the cup run, I didn't really get nervous for too many games. The 2 games in my career I remember being really nervous for was the game when I was captain for Rangers, the first game, because of just the pressure of it, and FA Cup final, just with the magnitude. When I came out for that warm-up, the stadium was pretty much full already. That was the game I was pretty nervous for, and it was frustrating because it wasn't much of a game, and neither team could have won it. But I was looking back at their team the other day. I'd done another podcast the other day, and looking back at their team, the team was frightening. The team was amazing.
Yeah.
Yara played, Kanu, Glenn Johnson, Stan, Campbell, James, Hariderson, Montari, Cranchar, Kanu. It was ridiculous. Mendes, some team, man.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Yeah, it were. So how did you find DJ? Dave Jones?
Yeah, it's he was interesting. He was. I think he recognised his strengths, and he had Terry Burton obviously doing all the coaching. He was more of a manager than the coach.
Yeah,
I think he was really good at nicking a player, putting a good squad together, and keeping the camaraderie between the squad. I think that was his strength. Man management, not so much. I can remember he dropped me for a game against Bristol City. I think it was Bristol City or Swansea, and I was fuming because that's the derby for Cardiff.
Yeah,
and I'd been playing all the games before, and then I went to see him on the Friday. So the days obviously he names the team on the Friday, or you see the team shaping up on the Thursday, and then names it on the Friday. You do your set pieces, and I was spewing because I wasn't in the team because I felt I was playing well and deserved to be playing at that time. And then I went to chap his door, and I was thinking, Dave, can I have a word? Gaffer, can I have a word? He's like, nah, nope. I was like, all right. He says, come and see me Monday. I was like, all right. I was thinking that just pure no. I was like, fucking rubbish, man. Because if you go into the game and do really well, and then Monday I've got no leg to stand on Monday.
Yeah. Are you going to get beat? And then he says, I tell you what, I should have played you. You can't win, can you?
can't win. So I was just looking just for a bit of guidance, a bit of feedback. But at that point, it was like, nah, just wasn't even speaking to us. So I was like, brilliant. Then I was, there was days that when Terry Burton wasn't there or Wilco wasn't there and the gaffer had to take the training, it was, you could tell he was definitely a better manager than the coach. But he was all right, mate. He had good bits and bad bits.
Obviously, I only had sort of 4 months with him, but I always used to feel he used to let lads get away with too much. Do you know, if you'd have had... I mean, because the squad that I came into were fucking outrageous. It were really outrageous. And how that team didn't get promoted from us being second in the league were fucking tragic, really.
Yeah, and that's a big regret, obviously, in my time there. We were always close, but we never got there. But yeah, no, the squad when you came down, big man, was fucking ridiculous. We had to be fair, every year I was there, we had a really good... The first year I was there, we had Robbie Fowler, Jamie Floyd Hasselbank, and Trevor Sinclair. They all signed that same season I signed. So it was just like, what a team we had. We had Wits, with Aaron Ramsey, Roger Johnson, Glenn Louvens. What a team we had. We had some team, man.
I forgot Trevor Sinclair went there.
Yeah. Oh, mate. Trevor Sinclair, brilliant. What a lad.
Is he?
Mate, he came on trial, right? Not trial, but he came to train with us in Portugal. So we were in Portugal. Did you come pre-season at all, Parky, at Cardiff?
No, mate. I signed in the January.
Mate, 4 years in a row we went to Portugal. It was like a stag do every year. It was amazing.
Well, there's something about there's like an inflatable thing in the sea or something.
Mate, that was so every year there was something happening. So the first year we got there, this is my first pre-season with Cardiff. Bearing in mind, I think I was in South Africa the year before with Rangers, with Paul Le Guen, proper professional. Couldn't do anything. Never nights out or anything. Long trip, no nights out, rubbish. Came to pre-season with Cardiff, went to Portugal. First night, so we gets to the hotel, gaffer's training in the morning, such and such time, be there, no worries. And Percy, the captain, Big Darren's right, 15. You've got 15 minutes, lads. Everyone back up the rooms, changed. We're going to the bar. And I was thinking, maybe just go for one, just get all the boys together because it's a new squad. Mate, we could not leave until this massive table was full of Magners bottles. We were absolutely steaming the first night. It was nobody left. I was thinking, fuck, is this normal? Over the 4 years, I found out it was normal. You must have knew we were going out, but it was everyone had to sort of go out, but everyone had to make training. So everyone made sure we made training, and we trained as hard as we could. But everyone had to go out. Some of the best experiences ever with the boys, just in terms of growing a group. It was one year we went and a couple of the boys nicked the kit bus when they got back after a night out, but drove it down round the corner. So it wasn't they were on the estate, just in our hotel. Moved it around the corner, but they must have parked it right on the curb. And the next morning, it's got a flat tire, so they had no kit for training. They had no balls of that because it was all the bus couldn't move. It was fucked. So we get down to the training ground because there was no balls around, and gaffers that right, you're just going to run. So that's the only time in that 4 years that we ever done running because of a night out. And there's no way he couldn't have known we were going out because the boys were out every night basically, but they were always training. We were always training, making sure we're training.
When it's a team night out, there's always that smell, isn't there? You know what I mean? It's like a cloud around you. There's this smell of ale. And
you'd have to know. I mean, surely, so Trevor Sinclair came train with us. So I think he was taken aback as well because he'd just arrived. He was later than us arriving into Portugal. We arrived in the morning. He arrived at 5 p.m. on a separate flight because they were sorting out the deal. He hadn't signed yet. He was still to do a medical and train with us. So he's ended up coming out with us. Everyone got battered, including Trev. Steaming, everyone's steaming. Trev couldn't wake up he actually couldn't wake up for training. He had in his room. He had to say to the physio, you'll have to tell him I'm ill, I'm sick, I'm struggling because I actually can't get to bed. He was stuck in bed all day. He ended up doing a running session with a fitness guy at night. They still signed him, but that was my first memory. And just with so many good times, there was boys swimming out to inflatables on the beach at 6 o'clock in the morning. And bear in mind we're training at 9, half 9. But boys, everyone was still make it. Everyone was always there.
What year were it that you got to the playoff final? Was that in your third year?
That would have been the third year, because the second year was the one that Preston got in the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it would have been the third year. We got to the playoff final, which,
Blackpool. Yeah.
Blackpool, yeah. So I didn't play. I'd actually in the stand with a boot on my ankle because I snapped my a tendon in my ankle just prior to it, like 6 weeks before. So I wasn't playing. So I was like, watching the boys, just egging them on and just hoping they would get there because,
Promotion
bonus, yeah. To try and push the club on. The club had been great to me. Just to get to that next level would have been brilliant to be part of. I don't know if I'd have been part of playing in the Premiership, but just to actually get there with the club would have been amazing because I had 1 year left. So you're thinking 1 year left, double bubble for the final year, happy days. It'd have been amazing, but you're sort of helpless watching the game. So that was, it was tough to take. After that game, it was one of the worst feelings ever, man. Horrible.
The mad game, wasn't it?
Especially to be sat in the stand, though. The progression of your career and everything else in your teammates' hands. Yeah,
and you're just thinking, because I would have been 32 maybe, so I was thinking, it's probably my last chance, of getting there. After having such a career to this level, but it was really frustrating. I mean, it was a crazy game. Jay got injured after like 10 minutes. It was 3-2 at half time. We led twice. Charlie, who had played with Rangers, who's a mate, obviously scoring that wonder goal. It was just a strange day, mate. It was strange. It was tough.
Talking of Bothroyd coming off, I remember speaking to Quinny about it. He said he came off so early. How did you feel? Because he was obviously struggling before the game. What was your view on it? What do you think he should have started or what?
It's a tough one because I think Dave was really sort of pushing him to play because he was one of our top players. I mean, I know Parky's got his differences with the big man, but honestly, like, see when he signed for us, I've never seen someone with his ability in training. Like, some of the stuff he was doing, he was just like, mate, I was just thinking in my head, like, why are you at this level? He could have been
a cock. Because he's a cock, mate. That's right.
maybe.
We both know it, mate. If he'd not been a cock, if he'd just been an all right lad, mate, he'd have played in the Premier League. Ability-wise, I thought he was brilliant, but he was just a cock.
Oh, but you get cocks that still make it, mate. You get cocks that still make it. It's like it's more than that. I thought it was like that. I don't know whether it was the attitude or obviously attitude's got a big part to play in it. But in terms of ability, mate, I was like, fuck me, this boy's unbelievable. Like, he skinned me his first day of training, and I was thinking, wow, he had everything because he was quick enough, strong, both-footed, great touch, awareness, everything. He had actually everything to be a top 4 player. So it was a big loss when he came off. Obviously, it was a big loss, yeah.
But how did you feel about it? Because it is a tough one. Because being one of your best players, you do want him to play, but then
especially from the stands.
Yeah, but like I say, I think we'd sort of pushed him to play. So it's hard because and maybe in another game he doesn't play, and it's one of them. You take a gamble, and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Whose decision is that? Is it the players or is it the manager? It's not really the players, is it? It's the manager. So
yeah, it's right.
Just going back now, what were it like? What were it like moving from Ninian to the new stadium? Because Ninian used to be a fucking horrible place to go and play as an away player, man. And then you felt as though you lost a little bit of, we're going to fucking Cardiff. We're going to Cardiff. We're like that shit. Or we're going to get dogs abuse. And now we're going to a lovely stadium now.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think I loved Ninian Park. For it being a home team, what a place to play, man. Amazing, because you knew clubs hated coming to it. It was like old ground. Fans were right on top of you. There was the crazy mob behind the goal. It was just like proper football ground. I love playing there. And when we moved, you definitely lose some of that atmosphere without a doubt. In the new stadiums, it's just not the same. It's just not the same. And clubs will like coming to that stadium because beautiful pitch, not intimidating in the slightest. They can go and express themselves. Not really the supporters and the noise and the atmosphere that you get in the old ground. So I was a bit gutted moving to the new place just because I love Ninian so much.
Yeah. Just going back a bit further. Oh, go on.
You go on, mate.
I was just back to Dundee even. because we kind of brushed over your Scotland career, but that must have been a extremely proud moment. That first cap, first call up.
Yeah, no, it was huge. I mean, I'd been at the club for obviously a while. I think it was the first Dundee player to get capped for like 15 years. So it was a huge occasion for me. I was 23 when I first played for Scotland. So
all the family come down.
I was in Poland, so no, they weren't in Poland.
Right.
No.
If it had been in Magaluf, they'd have been there, wouldn't they?
Yeah, so my first start was in Poland. First start in a qualifying game at Hampden. Almost all my family were down. That's probably the biggest point in my career. Playing for Scotland, 3 o'clock Saturday kickoff at Hampden. Playing a qualifier for the Euros, and we won 1-0 against Lithuania. Darren Fletcher actually came off the bench and scored. But that's probably the biggest moment in my career. So playing for Scotland, I love it.
Were you an anthem singer or a mumbler?
I wouldn't say I wouldn't belt it out, but I would definitely like maybe mouth the words. I would be singing along, but I'm not a great singer, so.
A mumbler.
Did you know, say you're the first to get capped from Dundee for 15 years? Do you feel as though you had to be a little bit better to get the recognition for your call up than if you'd have been at Rangers or Celtic?
Probably, yeah, because they're much more in the focus, and it's it was a struggle. Yeah, it was. You know what didn't help me? I can always remember this. The first training session, so in the squad at that time, we had Colin Calderwood, Colin Henry, Craig Burley, Scott Booth, all these boys who were coming towards the end of their career for Scotland, and I was just coming into it. And Craig Burley done this interview, and I don't know if you know Burley, but he's not backwards and coming forward. He fucking slaughtered us. So he slaughtered the young boys he got in the squad, basically, and says, "Oh yeah, it's like all right if in the squad, but they've got to be good enough." I was thinking, "Fucking, you serious, mate? Like absolutely battering me just in the squad, shitting myself as it is." And he's coming for the young ones. I was thinking, mate, just look after your own game. So I was just like, fucking, yeah, just the attitude of some of the players. So you're apprehensive going into that environment anyway. That didn't help when it came out in the press the next day. I was thinking, fucking brilliant. Cheers,
pal.
He was probably thinking, I didn't say it like that, lads. Yeah, I didn't mean it like that, lads. I only said maybe they might be all right.
Yeah, true. That's true. Very true. So yeah.
Because we speak about the England camps all the time about whether it was cliquey and stuff. What was it like with Scotland?
I didn't think it was. I don't think it was too cliquey. There was certainly, obviously, you would have the Celtic and Rangers boys who obviously are closer because they're in the club together. Hearts boys together, maybe, but as a group, we were not bad. I think Scotland realised that to have anything, we need to stick. You have to have that, squad mentality because we're not a good enough nation to be winning games without that. So I used to get on with all the boys in the squad, all the different, even the Dundee United lads who were obviously rivals of us. But I don't think it was as cliquey as maybe what England's been made out to be, but I'm not sure.
So surely these away trips for these qualifiers, the lads, the older boys must have been having a drink after them, surely. You know what I mean?
You remember, there was a big uproar because we came back from, I think we played a friendly in Holland, and then we came back, and then Fergie and Griggs, and I can't remember who else was. They stayed up all night, and then they got caught in the bar the next morning, and then they were chucked out from Scotland for a while. So there was definitely boys having a drink in that. Eh? It was nowhere near as professional as what it is probably now.
Remember that stuff with it was the Kit McGregor, is it? When he was given the going like that. What was all that about?
So this is what happened. So they'd been playing, but then they ended up being sort of out the squad and put on the bench. And they would have played normally probably because they were probably our best players, two of our best players. But this is because they'd had a few drinks after the Saturday game before the Wednesday. So going into training on the Sunday, they were still having a drink in the morning, but we got back to the hotel at about, must have been 3 o'clock after flying back from Holland. So they'd had a few drinks, but just didn't think much of it, and it just kicked up massive. Eh?
Yeah, I remember.
What was that rivalry like between Dundee and Dundee United?
It's big, mate. Because it's a small city. It's big. It's not obviously nowhere as big the Derby. I think Old Firm Derby is probably the biggest in the world, if not the biggest. There's certainly only a few that rival it. The Dundee one was good because it's a small city and it's like stadiums are so close together. So you used to walk down, you used to go to your home stadium and then walk down the road to your away game. Amazing. And then go and play. Yeah, it's amazing. So it's we had some really good Derby games. I had a decent record in the Derbies, so I used to look back at them and always look back at them fondly. Like, they were amazing times.
I'll tell you what you've not spoke about, Parky, which I'm surprised, is your Dublin trips. You must have been on some of them with Cardiff, your Christmas dues. You've not mentioned it yet.
We didn't have because I joined in January, and then obviously Gav left at the end of that season. But we had one, didn't we, mate?
You missed all the good stuff. You missed the
pre-season. The Christmas do, the pre-season. I just came in for the shit bit when we couldn't get a result.
Mate, we went to the first year I was there, so we had a proper like raucous squad, and then we went to Dublin the first year. I can actually possibly remember you being there, Brian. Were you in Dublin that year? Any ideas?
I will have been, yeah.
It would work because obviously if I'd have been at Preston, wouldn't I? So we will have been.
You'd have been at Preston, I think. Right? So there'd been a 2007, 2008 Christmas.
Yeah.
So we'd done the fancy dress over here on the Saturday normal night out, Sunday fancy dress. So we've got obviously we've got Robbie Fowler's in the team, Jimmy Floyd, Trev's there. We've got a real big squad. So everyone, Temple Bar, first thing, knocking on the door to get in this pub. And we're all in fancy dress. So I think I was dressed as Zorro. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank had a "See You Jimmy" hat and the kilt. Big Tomo was like a banana. Kev was Danger Mouse. Just like craziness. So we all get into this bar, and then we're like, "Where's Robbie?" Like Robbie wasn't there, so Growler wasn't there yet. So next minute, he must have told one of the boys, "Have a look out the window in a couple of minutes." So we're like, "No worries." He came rollerblading down the street with a big afro wig on, hot pants, and a big boombox, like roller skating down the street. Straight into the boozer. Like he fell into the boozer because he couldn't keep his balance. It was amazing.
This is Robbie Fowler, you know.
Robbie Fowler, mate. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And then he must have been thinking about this. So he's got two outfits. So about, I don't know, maybe a couple hours later, disappears again. So the next minute, where's Robbie? Like, can't see him. Like, next minute, so everyone just carried on drinking. He snuck into the bar from the other door and like came round, and he was like sitting in the corner, and he was like dressed as an old man. So he had the hat, the grey hair, the bonnet, just sitting in the corner, just drinking like that. And he just came, way! He just like jumped up and it was like, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Mate, we had boys on that day that one of the lads, can't name him, he basically sat in the same seat for 12 hours, like actually didn't move and was boozing. So you can imagine, for when he needed the toilet, he was just like pissing himself. So he would just like pissing.
It's got my
12 hours.
You'll have to tell us after, Gav.
There's something on here, and it's got John Parkin written all over it. Boys washing their faces with piss in the showers.
Nah, mate. No, that's not me. That's not me. That's too far for me, that, mate.
You know when you just like people do things in the dressing room just for like no idea why they do it, but just for banter. It's not even banter, but just for banter. We had boys that would in the changing room. One of them would piss in the other one's hand, and then the other one would just wash his face with it. And I'm like, what the fuck he's doing, man? Absolutely nutters.
You get involved?
That's too far for me,
like,
man.
Come on, man. Just
for a penny.
It's like,
I mean, maybe on back of someone's cast, but not in the grid. You know what I mean? So obviously, we know my thoughts on Boothroyd.
Yep.
Chops. Talk us through Michael Chopper, because I thought he was a 26, 27-year-old man in a 12-year-old's body.
It's not the other way.
And mentally, mate, it were like it
You
was
mean the other way around. You didn't have a 12-year-old's body.
No, I don't mean physically.
And
You know what I mean?
said...
I know what you mean.
You've been fucking shit for the last hour and a half, mate. I said one thing half wrong and you fucking pull me up on it.
He was you could tell he had some demons, mate, and some stuff going on. Like, he was some player. Like, his first touch and finishing that was brilliant. His movement, but he was just a fucking space cadet. Like, he would be the gambling, gambling anything. He was betting on like 8-1 in favour and betting against it. Just stupid things, but just like for banter, but just like, mate, just settle down. He had so much stuff going on. It was a shame because he was such a good player. But I can remember.
Anybody try having a word?
I think everyone tried, mate. I think the manager tried. I think some of the players did. I didn't, because I'm not really like a gambler. I don't really understand. Never really done it, so I couldn't really feel it was my part to say. And I didn't really know him that well either, even though I was obviously a teammate. But you had people that were closer to him who definitely tried. But I remember being on the bench for Cardiff one day, and there was like somebody got injured, or it was a free kick or a throw-in, and he came over for the ball, and he was asking somebody on the bench what the race result was or what the score was in another game because he had bet on it. I'm like, fucking hell, man. Just like, it was a proper problem. Like, it was a shame, man. But he was a good character in terms of like always lively, never down, but just whether that's a front, you could tell it was obviously for the lads in that front, but he was a good lad underneath it all. But yeah, he certainly had problems.
It was somebody up for me. We were playing Swansea away the Sunday at 1 o'clock kickoff, and so Dave Jones got us. We all stopped in the Vale, if you remember.
That's right, I remember that. Yeah.
So we all stopped together, so we'd eat together and that. So 1 o'clock kickoff. So we've got to be at Swansea at 11:30, and it's half an hour, 40 minutes.
Yeah, roughly. Yeah.
So we're eating at sort of quarter past 9. So Chops comes to the game. He's left the hotel to go and play fucking FIFA. He's got back to the hotel at 2 o'clock in the morning. He's gone playing FIFA. We're playing Swansea away, 1 o'clock kickoff next day. The biggest game in the fucking world for Cardiff and Swansea. And he's left the hotel to go and play FIFA. Yeah. He's fucking 27-year-old, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he did some stupid things, man. Stupid things.
Going back to like when you said, did you have a word with him? I asked Brian Dean the other day because he played with Gaza, and I just said, did you try and speak? When he was struggling and like he was just a piss pot. And Dino he didn't bite me head off, but he was like, "Why?" He said, "I've got my own problems," which I was surprised that he said that, but you can kind of see it. All these people saying, "Why is nobody ever getting hold of these certain players?" But the fact is, everybody's got their own trouble. Everyone's got their own things to sort out and what have you.
Yeah, no, definitely. He's probably thinking, "Fuck," he can help himself. He's a grown man, but
some people need help, don't they?
Yeah, no, definitely, and it's a massive thing just now. Obviously, it's a lot more prevalent now, the mental health side, which is great because it's such a problem and there's so much stuff going on. But yeah, no, Chops was he's a one of a kind, mate. One of a kind player.
Because if everybody took that approach, then everybody would be fucked, wouldn't they? Nobody would get any help.
Well, that's true. That's it. That's exactly it. Yeah. So
I'm going back to DJ with that. I don't know if DJ had tried before I got there to be stronger with him, and he just got to end with his tether with him. But it really needed like a fucking Alex Ferguson, didn't he? Just to really get him on the straight and narrow.
Yeah. I think Dave Jones with him, I think he tried to sort of help him just to make sure he was okay to play his football, because that was obviously when he was at his happiest and he was playing and he was scoring, and that benefited the team as well. So it sort of worked both ways. But to go deeper into that, I mean, he'd obviously tried. He'd been there a few years with him, so whether he tried deeper than that, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's a shame. He had a lot of problems, but he probably doesn't give a fuck, mate. To be honest, he's probably one of that kids now. He's just thinking, no, it's what it is.
Yeah. What it were.
When it came to moving on from Cardiff, then Aberdeen interested, on club, but then you went back to Dundee, didn't you, for a short spell?
Yeah. So what happened was I was out of contract in the summer, and so this still annoys me to this day, right? it probably shouldn't, but Dave Jones pulled me and says, that's it, your contract's finished, you're not getting a new deal. And I was like, no worries. And then he got the sack. So I was thinking, well, how the fuck's he telling me if I'm not getting a new contract, he's not even going to be here. So it was like, they'd done that the second day after the season finished. So he obviously told the boys that weren't getting kept on, or, you had to tell them before a certain date. So they were telling me, and I was thinking, well, you're not even going to be here, because that was the rumours anyway. So I was thinking, aye, all right. But anyway, Malky Mackay came in, and luckily he let me train with the team. You would have been there at that point, Parky, yeah?
Yeah, unfortunately, aye.
But
not for the club for him.
Yeah, so I was out of contract. I had a few sort of bits of interest, sort of past London. I wasn't sure what to do. I was looking to get a club, obviously. I actually trained, as I say, with Malky I must have been there for about 8 weeks, and I was I can remember I was flying. I was thinking, he's going to sign me. I'm going to get signed back up for Cardiff. I'm buzzing. And then one day he pulled me. So I was thinking, yes, he's going to give me another year, give me a 6-month deal or whatever. He says, oh yeah, you'll need to train with the youth team now. And I was like, oh, fucking hell.
I can't play for the 21s.
Yeah, because the numbers had got so big with the first team, he says, listen, you've been with us and you've been really professional, but I've now got the squad together. And if you want to keep training, it'll have to be with the reserves. And I was like, yeah, totally, I get your point. I was like, devastated, but I was like, yeah, no problem, understand. So then I was training with the 21s and the young lads for a while. And then nothing really came up that was that great. I was meant to be signing for Aberdeen this summer, but then they signed a player the day before they knew I was available, and then the budget was gone, so I was devastated because Craig Brown was the manager, who was the manager of Scotland, and he wanted me. And that's my boyhood club. I grew up in Aberdeen. That's the team that I support, so I was devastated. But then one of the boys that played with me at Dundee was now the manager for Dundee. He was the manager, Barry Smith. So he used to be a teammate of mine. He's now the manager. He says, you know what, mate? It got to like October time, so I hadn't played. He's like, mate, just come up the road, like get back playing and get back enjoying it. I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to do it. So I played 12 games. When I joined, we were second bottom. This is the championship. When I joined, we were second bottom. Played 12 games, scored 4 goals, was flying, got us up to second, and then Aberdeen came in for us again in the January.
Right.
And I had a gentleman's agreement. I'd signed to the end of the season, but I had a gentleman's agreement with Baz, my mate. I says, listen, if any team comes in for me and I want to go and it's up a level, I'm going basically. He says, yeah, no problem. And then so they came in, and then I moved to Aberdeen for it was about 18 months at that point.
Fair play to your pal then, eh? For
yeah, understanding.
It actually killed the club because when I came in, we'd sort of hit a great run of form. In the end, it still worked out all right because that was the year that Rangers got demoted to the 3rd division, and Dundee, because they were second, got promoted. So I'd left the club in second, so it sort of worked out all right. But he was devastated at the time when I left. But we'd had that agreement, and he was all right with it. He was my mate, so I just said, "Fuck it, I'm going."
Yeah.
So who signed you at Aberdeen?
Craig Brown. So he was still there and managed to get a bit of budget, free up a few players, and I managed to get to play for them. So yeah, I was there for 18 months. Yeah.
Good way to go out then, isn't it? Playing for your hometown club.
Yeah, so I had 18 months there, and then I had 1 more year back at Dundee. So I signed for Dundee 3 times. So it was 3 spells there. But I got a year and a half in Aberdeen, which was great because I always knew I was going to emigrate. Obviously, my wife being Aussie, so to get home and to take our kids home, we've got twins, take the twins home close to my family, my parents and my sister and their family. It just sort of worked out perfect. It was a really good way to sort of round off a career. I was 33, 34. And as I say, the club I supported, to get to play for them and to score a couple of goals for them was great and very satisfying. Although we didn't have that 2 great seasons, but it was still good to have done it.
Yeah.
Did you ever think once you finally got back home from being, because you've been left since 16, haven't you? So you've been left 16, 17 years. Do you not think to yourself, I'm going to try and persuade her to stay here?
I think it was difficult. My wife moved from Sydney to Dundee. Fair play. You know, like
Oh yeah, she's
fair play.
she's owed one, bless her, isn't she? She's
All
owed
the
one.
sword there.
fair fucking play. You know, she'd been in the UK for 12 years. Originally, like obviously not originally, but from South America, so hates the cold as it is. So, you know, to be in Scotland and the UK for 12 years and watch a football, which she has absolutely no time for football. She prefers rugby league.
Sounds like a sentence for murder.
So fair play. So I thought, you know, fair play to her. So I think she was, because when I left Aberdeen, so we were going to emigrate then, and then Dundee came in again, and it was just like I could still travel to Dundee from Aberdeen. It's only an hour, and I could still stay in the house we had in Aberdeen. So I says, like, you know, you all right with staying for one extra year? And she's basically, fuck it, I've been here for like 11. What's an extra year? You know, and then we'll go. And that's basically what happened. Like, so
that was a perfect final swan song. Then your third trip to Dundee, your third stint winning honestly, the league.
It couldn't have been any better. I mean, we won the league on the last day. It's the only medal I've got in my career. So to do it on the last day was very special. You know, it was
you've got runners-up medal, mate, haven't you? FA Cup runners-up medal.
Scottish Cup runners-up medal, but
did you not get one at Rangers when they were not getting enough appearances?
Because of my injuries, I missed two leagues and a cup. So it was a killer. I was spewing. So it was the last day. So we had to. It's fucking mental. This last day. So we had to win. As long as we won or drew, then the league was ours going into the last game. So we were a home game. We had every stand, and there was no away fans basically against Dumbarton. We had the whole stand packed. So we're playing the game. Managed to get up 2-0. We're like fucking cruising, thinking, yeah, we've got this. Dumbarton get a goal back, and then our keeper makes a save in the last minute. An unbelievable save. Kyle Letherin, big box head. What a save!
I play with Kyle. Yeah.
He stared at you. He just stares at you, doesn't he? He's like, he's a good lad. He had an unbelievable save, and then so we got back into the dressing room. So it was a pitch invasion, won the league. Back into the dressing room, and the boys like, did you hear the score in the other game? And we're like, no. Hamilton had won 10-2 on the last day. So if Kyle didn't make that save, we'd have lost the league. Drawn. It was so bizarre. I was like,
10-2?
10-2, mate.
I think fucking Chops might have had a bit an answer in that. It might have been a fucking backhander.
That's what everyone was saying. It was like, fuck off, 10-2, mate. And I didn't know this because I was on the pitch. I was proper concentrated. But the boys on the bench all knew the scores. So everyone knew the scores. The fans obviously knew the scores. I just thought they were getting apprehensive because we were getting closer and closer to the title. And then gets back in the dressing room, 10-2, mate. So if Kyle didn't make the save, we'd have lost the league on the last day. I'd have been devastated. I'd have been gutted.
Keeper must have been buzzing.
Oh, he was. To be fair, he was like, I think he got Player of the Year the next night just for the save. But it was good. And because we got promoted, I actually had another year in my contract when I signed this. Is like, so if they put in my contract, if we get promoted, you get another year automatically. But I was thinking, fuck, I'm not going to better that. You know, it's nothing to prove in the Premier League.
Go out on a high.
Go out on a high. I'm not retired through injury. I'm not retired through bad form. I might stay. I don't think I've got anything else to sort of prove in the league. So just retire myself. So it's really satisfying to have been able to do that, because I know a lot of players struggle sometimes mentally when they've been forced to retire through injury or, you know, through circumstances.
Yeah. I bet it didn't help when you come home from that game and your missus was stood at the door with a suitcase he packed. Right, come on. Here we go, sunglasses on.
Hawaiian shirt on, big sunglasses. Come on, we're going on.
It was perfect way to finish. And yeah, I'd done like the bonuses for the boys, obviously being captain at the start of the season, and says to the chairman, I says, listen, if we get promoted, we want a trip away. And he says, like, where you want to go? I says, I don't know. But at this point, I'd never been to Ibiza. I was like, we'll go to Ibiza. And he's like, oh, okay, no worries. They're obviously not thinking we're going to win the league. So we won the league, went to this brand new hotel. So it was all inclusive. We booked it like the day before, landed the next day. Brand new hotel, had never had like that many guests, just open. A group of 20 lads, all inclusive. drank the place dry, mate. They're like, they had to change their policies. They were saying to us, no, we can't. I said, mate, you all inclusive. We've signed the deal, mate. All inclusive. Battered them. It was amazing. After that, they must have changed it because it was, it was an unbelievable trip to finish. It was class.
They do them and them all inclusives though. Don't they? Like you only allowed one drink per time or something, and it's half.
Yeah, but because these were new brownie, they didn't even know, mate. So they were like inexperienced at that. So we were just bottles, mate. Bottles, constant bottles, mate. It was amazing.
So how long after you finished did you head over to Australia?
So I retired in the May 2014, and we emigrated in September. So not long, a few months after. So I had we bought a house here, because I'd been coming here since 2002. When I left Rangers just before I signed for Cardiff, we bought a house and it was rented out, and then so it was already it was all set. But as soon as I finished, we could just go
Yeah.
So.
Are you happy?
Yeah, mate, I love it. Yeah, it's probably the biggest thing is I'm not involved in football, and I sort of knew that when I was coming, when I was emigrating. I knew it was taking a different route, because if I'd stayed in Scotland or the UK, I'd have definitely went down the route like most ex-pros do, like go the coaching route. Try that at least. I've been coaching here, so I've been coaching semi-pro level for 5 years. It's very difficult to get a full-time gig. So it's been a great experience. I've loved it and I still do it. But I sort of knew that when I came here, I was going to have to change career or do something different. And I've always had a pretty open mind to that. And I think you have to, because if you don't, you can end up in real turmoil. And you can see it with a lot of players that, they come to the end of their career and there's nothing really there. And I think the PFA could do more as well, for sure, trying to help boys. And I know they do, but it still needs to do more, man, because there's so much problems with players when they finish and they have no purpose. They're not used to having to do, something different. I mean, I came here, I ended up getting into, I came here we'd been here for about 2 months. I ended up we got the kids settled in school. And then I was going down Bondi Beach myself, mate, and try to learn surfing. I was thinking, what the fuck am I doing? We're building this house, and I was thinking, I need a job, man.
You're a beach bum.
So basically, I was thinking, and then it just basically just gave it one day. I was just thinking, what the fuck are you doing, man? Get a grip. So I was started applying for roles, and then I've been working started in technology recruitment, and then now running a small sort of management consulting firm in technology. And I love it. Love learning new skills, but you've got to have an open mind, because if you don't, it can be really tough.
Are we going to get the 5 out? The 5 drinking buddies.
Oh, okay.
Night out. 5 players that you've played with.
I know one who I might even put in as captain for him. McNaughton's got to be captain.
100%. Yeah, Kev comes in for sure. Kev's my mate, and he's a great laugh on a night out. Really good. So take Kev.
For a skinny thin man, his staying power is phenomenal.
Is it?
Yeah.
He's he gets steaming early. He's drunk. After 2 drinks, I'd say he's drunk, but he just stays at that level.
Stays at that level.
He just constantly just keeps going and keeps going. I remember he went through a phase all he drank was Jaeger bombs. That was it. We'd be having beer. Every round would be a Jaeger bomb. That was all he would drink. But he'd be sipping them. It got to the point he was sipping them. He was just sipping them.
Oh man.
Yeah,
remember? It might have been your missus. What did your missus do? Went on that Sunday night when Berkey came in next day. We had a do on a Sunday night and we were training next day.
Fuck knows.
And Berkey came in and I got in must have gone in after him, and they were lying in the corner like that, shivering. And it must have been because Berkey left that summer as well, I think, didn't he?
Yeah, Berkey went to Birmingham that summer, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so it must have been. I can't remember who's doing it. Somebody's 30th, I think it were. And Berkey, so you said, Berkey, you all right? He went, look, I'm just going to have to go and see the manager. I'm just going to have to apologise and say, look, I'm really sorry. I just cannot train today. I'm hungover. I cannot train. I'm like, Berkey, fucking get up, get out. Just hide, mate. Hide.
Yeah,
Ross come up with you. I can remember Ross was here. He drove up. His missus drove up to Leeds for training.
Oh, for fuck's
Joined to
sake.
training the next day.
Who would it have been then? Whose birthday would it have been?
Oh, I tell you it were, mate. Were it Macca's missus?
Oh, Michelle Phil, yes.
Yeah, I think it was Macca's missus. Yeah, I think it was Michelle.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Berkey's not a drinker. Oh, yes, he can go now and again, but nah, he's not massive.
So we've got our captain.
I'd have Big Tomo for sure. Big Stevie Thompson.
Just for the music.
For the music, a bit of background music as well, but he's nuts, man. You'd be sitting in a bar with him and he just like a glass would go flying past your head and you're like, he would just throw glasses or just smash them on the ground or smash them over his head. And then we get chucked out the boozer and then we go on to the next one. I'm like, Tom, what are you doing? He says, I don't know. And then we just move. He's fucking nuts.
Live and things.
He's nuts, mate. Yeah,
We need to get him on, Tomo. We need to get him on here.
Yeah, no, mate, he'd be good. He's good crack. Really good crack. You remember, was Josh McGuinness at Cardiff when you were there?
No.
Big Josh is another one. Fucking mental. Good on a night out. Lively as anything, constant. I'd have him. He loves it. He can throw a few shapes on the dance floor as well. He's good. He's a good laugh. Yeah, take him. I wouldn't remember Quinney. I would definitely not take Quinney because he's
nuisance.
Nuisance, yeah.
Nuisance is a good word.
Nuisance.
Yeah, wow.
McCormack-esque nuisance.
Yeah, McCormack. Wow. Yeah, he's not. All Scottish boys, man. I think who else? Parky, I take you. You're no bad on night out. You're a bit.
That was a token. That was a token pick. That.
I know, but I weren't last pick. I was 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5.
I think who else? Was anyone at Rangers or that? Not really. You know what? I'd probably take Caniggia just because he had the long flowing hair, mate. Long blonde hair. We went to this nightclub in Italy with him, and he was like a god walking into this place, mate. The whole place stopped. It was like he was legend. We can't take much, but we take him.
Solid 5.
Solid 5. Well, cheers, mate. Superb.
Yeah, mate. Top man, pal. Top man. Thanks for coming on, mate.
Good. Nah, thank you.
All the best with the endeavours.
Yes. Stay safe and hopefully you'll be riding them 20-foot waves soon enough.